So would you believe me if Busch Gardens Williamsburg's 2025 coaster is going to be a brand new? This is Brandon, Theme Park Predictions. You're not going to want to miss out on this video because a huge thanks goes out to BGW fans and parkfans.net for digging in and getting this information for us on Busch Gardens Williamsburg's brand new 2025 family coaster. Alright, brace your excitement. I know we have a lot of the details here to go over, and 2025 was that year. We're all circling it on our calendars because we knew it was going to be a massive new ride from Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Started out as Dragon Spire, the Intamin Shuttle Giga Coaster that fell through. And then all signs were pointing to a 220-foot tall RMC iBox track hybrid coaster that featured the arched lift hill just like Iron Gwazi that was going to dominate the back end of the park. And unfortunately that plan fell through as well. But the good news is we are left with a brand new family coaster that's going to be a B&M, and it's inverted, and it's going to feature 2 lift hills, plus it is actually going to be potentially themed to the Big Bad Wolf. Now that right there I can get behind. That is really cool, and kudos to Busch Gardens Williamsburg for potentially going after and going that direction, because Big Bad Wolf was a fantastic aero suspended coaster, and it's a shame that it's not around anymore. So I really like Verbolten because Verbolten replaced Big Bad Wolf, but I just feel as if that's a fantastic, it was a great ride. I really wish it was still around, but I like that they are going after the Big Bad Wolf theme and bringing that style of ride back. Now you might be wondering, how do we know it's a B&M family inverted and not a massive coaster? Well, 2 days ago I released this video right here, and I shared the initial blueprints that was leaked from parkfans.net and BGW fans. And sure enough, you could kind of make out the layout. It wasn't a very huge plot of land, and so that right there, we kind of knew that to pump the brakes on the Hyper, or even a Giga or a Strata, whatever it was that we all anticipated, because it was much smaller. Now, what you're seeing right now is the concept from Intamin 305, and you can see a rather large family inverted B&M coaster. Now, we already know that SeaWorld Orlando and Busch Gardens Tampa announced new family B&M coasters coming to their parks in 2024. So I understand why we're seeing one at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, because I'm sure there's a contract. I'm sure SeaWorld purchased 3 of them for their parks. However, I think this B&M family inverted coaster would have been so much better off at SeaWorld San Diego or even San Antonio, but not Busch Gardens Williamsburg, at least not yet. Again, I love the whole Big Bad Wolf theming of it all, but this creation here, I mean, great job here, and it's a fun looking coaster, do not get me wrong, and this will be the first B&M coaster to ever offer 2 lift hills. That's kind of cool. And just like the Big Bad Wolf, the first half of the coaster will have some near misses with facades of buildings, so I like that. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the large 3D scale buildings that the original Big Bad Wolf had, but it is SeaWorld we're talking about, and we know they don't really like to spend the money on theming. But you can clearly see here that they have plans on adding facades that are located near the track for portions of this coaster. Now, I do want to point out one thing, and that is the second half of this new proposed coaster does look rather good. It's probably going to be about 70 to 75 feet tall, and just like Big Bad Wolf, the second half was a lot more intense and fast than the first half. And this second half, it's a little bit quicker, but the transitions are rather quick, and that's even better, especially like in the back row. And as you can see, it's a very short ending. Like the second half is not very long. It features 2 or 3 elements, but I really like the pacing of it, and I think this is going to deliver a really solid ride. Now, here's my biggest issue with that, and I'm going to be honest with you. This is the very far back end of the park, and you have to check out the article that BGW fans wrote up from parkfans.net because they go in depth even more. So it's definitely worth your time reading that. But Drakenfire was in this plot of land, and it's been rumored for years that we're going to see a new coaster come here. And now we're finally it's looking like this is a for sure thing of a new B&M family inverted or suspended coaster, whatever we want to call it, that's going to be taking over the old Drakenfire plot of land. It's going to reuse the station. But here's the big issue, and that is the Drakenfire was a decent ride. I never rode it, but I heard it's pretty okay. Not horrible, not great, but it was way tucked away in the back of the park. It was hard for people to really know it's even there because it really wasn't like a part of the main midway of the park. Same goes with this. You're talking it's over 500 steps from the Germany section to where this coaster station would be. And not to mention, but the Verbolten area is great because all the dense, trees and stuff, which is great. And then the actual show building, it's going to be hard to see this ride from the main area of the Germany section. Now, imagine if you had the Giga Intamin shuttle coaster. That would have brought a lot more people to the back of the park because it's there because you can clearly see it all around the Busch Gardens Williamsburg. This, offering a lift hill of 70 some feet, you're not going to see it. That's the biggest question mark I have with this. Like, why? I do not get that. I feel as if this coaster would have been better off in a different location in the park that's right on the main part of the midway, so people actually see it. I just do not know if people are going to want to walk around the actual Verbolten area of the park just to get to this coaster. It's very shocking to me, and I'm a little cautious at the direction the SeaWorld parks are taking right now with all these family coasters. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. I really feel as if that they're really pumping the brakes on the return on investment from these larger rides. You had all these great coasters, Iron Gwazi, Pantheon, etc. And then we had all the rumors for all these larger scale coasters. Then all of a sudden, those kind of vanished. And now we're stuck with, it's not really a bad thing, but the B&M family multi-launch coaster for SeaWorld Orlando, the B&M inverted family coaster for Busch Gardens Tampa, and now the one coming to Busch Gardens Williamsburg in 2025. Again, for return on investment's sake, this coaster looks great. Do not get me wrong, this is a great ride, but Busch Gardens just added the Dark Coaster family Intamin multi-launch coaster this past year in 2023. So, do they really need another family coaster right off the bat? I just feel as if this location, if this ride was larger and taller, more dominant, it would definitely draw more people to it, or even have the layout kind of interact with the Germany section where the bumper cars and the actual Fest House is located. In that general area, have part of the layout be there. That way people see the ride and it's going to attract them to go see it and ride it. So overall, I'm torn. I really do love the Big Bad Wolf theme if they go that route. But again, it's a smaller scale ride. For future coasters for the SeaWorld and Busch Gardens parks, it worries me now because what's next? Are we going to continue this trend of family coasters that don't cost as much money? But then again, B&M costs a lot more money than a Vekoma does, or a smaller scale company like Zamperla or Zaire. There's a lot of different companies that can build a quality family coaster. So SeaWorld, why are they going with B&M when it's going to cost them $3, $4, $5, maybe $6 million more than it would another company? So, I don't know. I'm just some guy from Ohio who just talks about theme parks, predictions, and stuff like that. And speaking of predictions, this video here, I share with you 25 things that will happen in 2024. You don't want to miss out on that video, so go check that out. Now, what are your thoughts regarding this brand new B&M family inverted coaster coming to Busch Gardens Williamsburg? Let me know in the comments. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and of course, keep riding coasters.